Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Those of you who have been with us since the beginning, and those of you who have been with us here and there's about, and those of you that have just subscribed, as well as those of you who are about to subscribe, calling those things that are not as though they are. Yes, you're walking with Mr. Clay, and I'm Mr. Clay, and I thank God for you. Yes, we're in the book of Isaiah, chapter 41, as you prepare. Chapter 41. All praises to the Most High. I trust you had a blessed Sabbath, happy Sabbath, one full of praise and worship and just adoration toward our Creator, even our power, our God. Yes. We're in the book of Isaiah, chapter 21. In this day and time, we see that things are moving right along. One thing you can tell about the Most High is that when countries, nations, and people are moved, they're just superficial. To tell you the truth, it's about the children of Jacob. It's about you. And if the rest of the world decides they want to be a part of that which is for the children of Jacob, then the rest of the world will start coming in and joining and changing their ways to that, toward the commandments, statutes, ordinances, laws of the I Am. Yes, the ordinances and laws of the I Am. This is what it's all about. You being an example by the way you conduct yourself, how you raise your children. I'm talking to the children of Jacob. This is you. Religion seeks to control through man by man, using the things of the Most High. But still, the Most High gives us tools where that we can govern ourselves. The only way that we can really have peace is through the commandments, statutes, ordinances, and laws. Man's not going to tell you that, because many societies profit from sin. Period. Transgression against the laws of the Creator. These laws have existed, saying this again and again, over and over. These laws have existed since the beginning of mankind. They were in the writings since the beginning of mankind. But mankind always wanted to go by what he thinks or she thinks is right in their own eyes, because of convenience. Look at some of your religious organizations who excuse or accuse each other in their inordinate affections that they exact toward children and women and some young boys, or even teenage boys. These religious organizations. And then they're excused by even federal law, state law, whatever have you, even city laws, because they deem them, apparently they're doing the same thing. The Most High's cup is going to be full. We can see the full fury. Babylon is taking a hit, but yet Babylon is doing the same thing. Have you ever looked at the movie The 300? And you see the way how that even this King Leonidas was defeated, period. Regardless of what he did, why are you glorifying a loser? He lost. Regardless of whether it motivated the others to do what they did, King Leonidas lost. The only reason Greek rose is because the Most High saw fit to bring Persia down, because Persia was beside itself. The same thing before Persia, Babylon, beside itself. The same thing with Assyria, beside itself. You can look at the boastings of Assyria in this book we're reading now, in the book of Isaiah, where he boasts himself against the Most High. So now the Most High resurrects Persia to a certain degree. No, they're not the original people, but they have the same mentality and the same mannerisms as ancient Persia. We really have to pay attention. We don't pay attention, and that's where we get into foolishness. We read the scriptures and we display our darkened minds and hearts that we do not understand, but we speak yet anyway according to what seems right to us. The Most High have given translators a good edge on what the words in ancient Hebrew mean. Just for instance, I heard one person say, as far as before the Bible was the spirits and all of this and all of that. And I told the person this, I said, well, when you say before the Bible, are you saying before the translation of the Bible, or are you saying before the biblical, the period that the Bible covers or writes about? Because you got two different things here. The Bible, or the book, the Bible that was written during the time, was Genesis. It wasn't Genesis then. It was one of the books that Moses had written, but it was also written in the realm of the Most High. So you're saying that this is null and void. It's not true. So you have your ancient spirits. So therefore, it's not true. No, it's not true. But anyway, nevertheless, here we go again. Isaiah chapter 41. Israel is devastated by Assyria. Even part of Israel is occupied by Assyria to this day. Regardless of how politically they try to, should I say, tell you or gaslight you that these lands were part of a certain people's lands, or should I say those who were basically Europeans lands anyway, when it only happened in 1948. And the truth is out there, where the presidents, one of them called Israel the aircraft carrier for the world, or for the West. Because the fact is, that's what they all are. Aircraft carriers, troop carriers for the West. All the bases and all these things. What do you need to defend your country? Does Burkina Faso have to go out of his country to defend it? Or does any other country? You gaslight people. When the person says they have to build this in order to defend their country, it's gaslighting. And then they say defend our interests. Another diplomatic metaphor. Defending your interest. What interest have you? Unless you have a piece of land that you put there to defend that piece of land that you purchased. That's one thing. But to take over and colonize a whole country because you have one little base or maybe a few people there? Look what happened with South Africa. You wanted to go there and colonize it because of a few that looked like the one who, and then they called them out of South Africa into a worse situation that they were in while they were in South Africa. Well, I digress, but either way, I think you get the picture. Isaiah 31 talks about, keep silence before me, O islands, and let the people renew their strength. Let them come near and let them speak. Let us come near together to judgment. That word judgment. Look it up. Who raised up the righteous man from the east, called him to his foot, gave the nations before him, and made him rule over kings, and gave them as dust to his sword, and as driven stubble to his bow. He's talking about Abram. Abram was righteous in that he saw that the idols of his father, and any idol, was not God. Man did what seems right in his sight in the time of Abraham, according to the book of Jubilees in the book of Jasher. Yes, he did what was right in the sight that he imagined. He says, and driven stubble to his bow. Yes, the children of Abraham, then you had Isaac. They had wars, they had conflicts with people, and the Most High defeated them all. Said he pursued them and passed safely, even by the way that he had not gone with his feet. Yes, through the land of Canaan, from Assyria, because Abram was an Assyrian by birth. He was born in the land of Assyria, and that's named after some guy, but either way. He pursued them and passed safely, even by the way that he had not gone with his feet. Who hath wrought and done it, calling the generations from beginning? I, the I am, the first, and with the last, I am he. Oh, we got one now. So they sublimated that and said, I am the first and the last. That's what your Isa said in the book of Revelation. He said, I am he. But the Most High, we're talking about the God that created all things, infinite space. God is infinite space. The thing of the Most High is that the human mind cannot fathom, because the human mind basically and it's rare that a human mind can fathom who God is. Very rare. Who the I am is. Most are just subject to their own earth. You're subject to your own trinkets, your own smallness, your own minuteness. If you lay out and just in the night sky and just look up at outer space, just lay down on your grass if it's safe, or the desert sand, or in the jungle. Just look up at the night sky, quietness, and look at the vastness that you see from this tiny planet. That's God. Not that you should worship the stars, no. You look in the mirror, that's God. Then you got this crazy person that would say, oh, we're all God. Yeah, right. But nevertheless, he says, the isles saw it and feared, and the ends of the earth were afraid and drew near and came. It's not talking about no Jesus or no Isis or no Yahushai or no Yahusha. No, it's not talking about that. They helped everyone his neighbor, and everyone said to his brother, be of good courage. So the carpenter, so this is where they get where Isis was a carpenter. Okay, whatever you want to say. What is he talking about? Let's keep going. So the carpenter encouraged the goldsmith, and he that smootheth the hammer with the hammer, him that smote an anvil, saying, it is ready for the soldiers. He fastened it with nails that it should not be moved. But thou, Israel, art my servant. That's what he's talking about. Jacob, whom I have chosen, the seed of Abraham, my friend. Because the Most High saw that Abram wanted to know and understand this God that was not made by wood, pictures, gold. And today, should I say, AI. You have to be careful. Idolatry is in many forms. He said, but thou art my servant. Yes, Jacob was his servant. Jacob was chosen. We talk about a seed out of a seed out of a seed. Out of the seed of Abraham was chosen Isaac. His other son was disqualified. And out of Isaac was chosen Jacob. Esau was disqualified. Whom I have chosen, the seed of Abraham, my friend. Now out of Jacob was chosen Judah. Now out of Judah is chosen what the Most High in the book of Enoch would declare, thousands of anointed. God chooses a seed out of the seed, because all the seed that comes from you, man, are not holy seed. Maybe you are holy, but the seed you have from a woman or whatever, however it may be or come, may not be holy. So we have to be careful on how we deal with things. Now, verse, should I say, 9. Whom I have taken from the ends of the earth and called from the chief men thereof, and said unto thee, thou art my servant, I have chosen thee, and cast thee, and not cast thee away. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee, yea, I will help thee. I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. Law, statutes, commandments, and ordinances. The right hand of the Most High's righteousness is how we conduct ourselves according to the standard, which is the right hand. It's not talking about Jesus, no, or Yahweh Shah, Yahusha. No man can give you righteousness by his, that is pure blood. So you sublimate it to saying that the grape juice is the blood. It's still the same as saying it's the blood. Blood is the life thereof. So you're going to drink the blood of people. You're going to drink the blood of a man. Just like two prominent preachers drank each other's blood. They mixed their blood and on national TV and mixed it and dropped it into a cup and both drank. And yet they still live. God didn't come down in a lightning flash. No, he didn't do that. They still living. They still thriving. They still getting their congregations money, and still invested the money that they got from their congregations to be the people that they are today. But you ask yourself, why? You have to read and understand the books. Not the one book, the books. That one book contains a book that shouldn't even be even in the class with the rest of the books. From Enoch to Malachi. This one book of letters need to be burned and trashed because it's no good. Even when God says, I am the beginning and the end. So Jesus came and mocked them and said, he's the beginning and the end. What is that? In the book of Revelation. And you still don't get it. Falsehood. And you have to look in your Quran. I haven't went through the Quran thoroughly yet. But the fact is, you have to look in these books and you have to see where they got it from the original books and made up their own thing. Now, let's continue. It says, behold, all they that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed. and confounded, and they shall be as nothing, and they that strive with thee shall perish. Thou shalt seek them, thou shalt not find them, even them that contend with thee, and they that war against thee shall be as nothing, as a thing of naught. Even the psalmist said the same thing in Psalms chapter 37. He said he saw the wicked spreading himself as a green bay tree. He sought him, but he could not be found. Oh, praises to the Most High. All right, this is what God is saying. For I, the I am thy God, will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, fear not, I will help thee. See, when we begin to respect or fear the Most High, things in life don't mean to us as they would mean to anyone else. The riches, the monies, and all these other things, we have to manage them to sustain ourselves and all those things. But what we have, we can bless others with in so many ways. Yes. Now, he says now in the next verse 14, fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel. I will help thee, saith the I am, and thy Redeemer, and the Holy One of Israel. Not talking about Isis. Thou shalt fan them with wind, and the wind shall carry them away, and the whirlwind shall scatter them. And thou shalt rejoice in the I am, and shall glory in the Holy One of Israel. What is he talking about? This period of captivity, this period of indentured servitude, this period of great torment and toil and deletion of the children of Israel was very devastating. He's talking about the time of Persia, during the time of Nehemiah, during the time of Esther and Haman, or should I say Mordecai. Haman was their enemy. This is what he's talking about. He's talking about now, he says, behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth. Thou shalt thrash the mountains, beat them small, and shall make the hills as chaff. He's talking about the proud, those who are high above you. He's using hills and chaff and all these things as an allegory. And those who come at you talking about, oh, the Bible's all symbolic. No, the Bible is literal with symbolic meanings, because he's speaking in parables in a way. Yes. And only those who can understand the history understands that God uses the natural things to explain the things that are now. Now, next verse. 17. When the poor and needy seek water, and there is none, and their tongue faileth for thirst, I, the I am, will hear them. Why? Because the poor are willing to accept. One thing about poor, an honest poor person, not a thief that is poor, but an honest poor person, not a murderer that is poor for the goods that they can get from the person that they have done in. God will hear them, because they're ready to receive. You're empty, not only in your sustenance and your substances. You're ready to receive. This is why many missionaries and many people that understand will go into poor countries and poor neighborhoods, because the people are ready to receive, because they're hungry. Not only they're hungry for material and sustenance, they are also hungry for truth. They're hungry for that which can protect them. This is what they're hungry for. But too often, many of the poor are dragged into a bunch of lies and delusion. And we know that many of us were poor at one time. I'm not talking about being filthy rich now, but I'm talking about we have what we need. We're given what we need, but then we lose it. And then he says, God will not forsake Israel, will not forsake the children of Jacob. No, even to this day. Individually, God is with you wherever you're scattered. God is there if you are with the Most High. Yes, God is there with you. He has dispatched spirits to protect you, spirits to help guide you. God is the Holy Spirit. These spirits are holy before the Most High. I will open rivers in high places and fountains in the midst of valleys, and I will make the wilderness a pool of water and the dry land springs of water. No, I'm going to make you thrive even though you're in captivity. But yet I'm going to teach you. I'm going to lead you forth in righteousness. This is what God is saying to the children of Jacob. I will plant in the wilderness the cedar, the shittah tree, and the myrtle. Excuse me. And the oil tree. And I will set in the desert the fir tree and the pine and the box tree together. And that they may see and know and consider and understand together that the hand of the I Am hath done this, and the Holy One of Israel hath created it. Yes, he did this while they were yet in captivity. Produce your cause, saith the I Am, bring forth your strong reasons, saith the King of Jacob. Who is the King of Jacob? This is another thing here. Not Isis, the Almighty, the strong and mighty. It wasn't talking about no Isis. And the King of glory shall come in. Who is the King of glory? The strong and mighty. Who is the strong and mighty? The I Am. Hallelujah. Glory to your name, most holy. Yes, 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 yes. That is so good. No, I'm not going to go into no tongues and no gibberish, no. But it's just something that excites me in knowing the truth. Just like you would see a football game and you just get up and you cheer. Is that saying that they were anointed and all this other stuff? No, you just know, it's just something that excites you, yes. Because of a win. He said, let them bring forth the King of Jacob. Let's put it that way. The King of Israel, the King of Jacob is God. Is the I Am. Is Snini Nanini. Is the Heya. Yes. This is the King of Jacob. He's chosen Jacob that the world might have an example in which to come to the one that their fathers and themselves have put aside for idols and other things. He says, let them bring forth and show us what will happen. Let them show forth things, what they be, that we may consider them and know the latter end of them, and declare us things for to come. Show the things that are to come thereafter, that we may know that ye are gods. Who is the King of Jacob? See, this is where you get into the blasphemy of the New Testament. When they said they were getting ready to stone this Isis, and he said, haven't I said ye are gods? This is where it is in the book of Isaiah. That is, whoever said that, they got that from here. That we may know that ye are gods. Powers. Who gives power to power? Even the I Am. Yes. Yea, do good or do evil, that we may be dismayed, and behold it together. Behold, ye are of nothing, and your work is of naught, and abomination is he that chooseth you. I have raised up one from the north, and he shall come from the rising of the sun, and he shall call upon my name, and he shall come upon princes upon mortar and upon potters, as the potter treadeth clay. God called a people to subdue a people. Who hath declared from the beginning that we might know, and before time that we might say he is righteous? Yea, there is none that showeth. Yea, there is none that declareth. Yea, there is none that heareth your words. The first shall say to Zion, behold them, I will give to Jerusalem one that bringeth good tidings. For behold, there was no man even among them, and there was no counselor that when I asked of them could answer a word. Behold, they are a vanity, the works are nothing, their molten images and their wind are in confusion. Yes, idol worshippers, comparing themselves to the Most High, comparing their idols to the Most High. This is what Isaiah is talking about. And this has been the plight from the book of Enoch all the way to now as we read the books. Idolatry. You have idolatry in pictures, idolatry in images, idolatry in AI. You have idolatry in materialism. You have to guard yourself from idolatry. Thou shalt not have any God before me, is what the first commandment to the children of Jacob reads in English. No gods before the Most High, regardless. Don't make any images, he's saying, to bow yourself. It's not the fact of images, but to bow yourself to these images as a deity before the Most High is where the abomination is. And if we do these things that are right, even as commandments, statutes, ordinances, and laws, we will have peace.